Morning. Just gonna wait here, guys, and see if we can get some more folks to join us. And we'll get started here shortly. Buenos dias. Morning, Legolas. Morning, Tron. I do have the risk disclosure up, so you guys can kind of peruse on that while we wait for folks to join us. Morning, Frizu. Morning, Yakin. Morning, Marcelo. What is risk disclosure? Nice. Tron, you of all people in this room should know what the risk disclosure is about. Yeah, don't be afraid. Yeah, guys, don't be afraid to hit the like button. I'm assuming you guys are already subscribers, so I'm not gonna push you on that. But yes, definitely, Fizu, thank you for the reminder. Hit the like button. Encourage me to come every morning and provide you this content. All right, we're pretty close here to get started here, guys. As I mentioned earlier, I do have the risk disclosure up. You can review that as we wait for critical mass here. Yes, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. All right. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I don't want our review here to carry into the equity session because I know that some of you do trade the opening range. That's not something that I do personally, but I know that there's a fair number of you that do trade the opening range. So I want to get through my review before that takes place here. Okay. So as you can see, I do have the risk disclosure. We all know by now that I'm not here in any sort of investment advisory capacity. Okay. The information that I'm sharing with you and from the market trader is to be treated as general information only, and that none of the information provided is intended to be investment advice and offer to solicit, buy, sell, recommend, endorse any fund, any instrument, or any security. Okay. We all know that futures trading contains a substantial amount of risk and is not for every investor, and that there is the potential for an investor to lose all and even more than the investor's initial investment capital. Okay, we should only risk money that we can afford to lose without jeopardizing one's financial security, and we obviously should not be using funds that we otherwise need to for living expenses, things of that nature. Okay, so with that said, we'll go ahead and move on to the see what we have today is with respect to news. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this, and I'm going to share this here. Pause at this place here for a second. Make sure that everybody can see. I'm getting confirmation that you are able to see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move into the economic calendar. Okay, and basically we're going to kind of review to see, is there anything in scheduled reported could affect the markets. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just select U.S. news, and I'm going to keep it at 2 and 3 our news events here. Okay, so let's see. We'll go ahead and up back to the top. Okay, so fair number of 2-star events. We are in the midst of I guess just receiving some 3-star news around unemployment. It's probably a biggie. Okay, unemployment did tick higher in April than what was forecasted Okay. And then we have PMI here at 9:45 Eastern. Another some other news events here at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay. And then there's some FOMC folks, potentially speaking here. Here we have Williams speaking here at. That's not. I don't think that's going to affect us much. Yeah. So yeah, I guess the big ones, I guess, would be around 9:45, 10 a.m. Okay. And again, as a standard rule, I'm always kind of light on the light as far as participating in the market until about 10 a.m. anyway for me. Okay, because of the European option expiration. All right. So I'm already kind of on the sidelines unless I see something quite appetizing as far as trades go. Okay. All right, so that's kind of what we see on the news front. Just a couple of events there. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the markets. Okay, we're going to jump into the markets here. So I'm just going to again here for a minute, make sure that everybody's able to see this. Okay, just going to load up the daily chart here, nice and wide. Okay, let's see here just to be sure that everybody can see. Black. Why would it be black? Okay, try this one more time. Okay. All right. Okay. Are we okay now? Can I get someone to confirm that they do indeed see the screen now? I did stop and start again. Just okay, awesome. All right, so we have the daily up of gold here. Okay, we're again, I guess it's kind of mixed. I guess I would say that we're probably a little bit more rangy in gold at this point than directional. Although we are in I would say a bearish channel. You could also think of this as potentially a retracement of this swing here. Okay, that's also possible. But nonetheless, we are in this bearish, channel to the downside. Okay, we have not made any significant new highs in the market. Okay, all the only significant things that we've been doing in the market of late is making new lows. Okay, so since we're making new lows and lower highs, then we obviously have to kind of lean to the bearish. Okay, 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. I'm going to turn off initial balance here for a minute. Okay, and we look at this here. So remove some of my drawings here. Don't need to see them at this point. Okay, so here are developing kind of, well, it is a bullish candle. It is above VWAP, but the VWAP is a bit flat for me. Okay, so it's not really giving us any true direction. Okay, although we are flirting with the idea of potentially breaking, this price structure here to the left-hand side, which could be bullish in the market. I do see that we may be developing a little bit of a demand zone down here. Right, price has not closed back inside this area here. So given that, and given the rejections that we are seeing away from it, I'm inclined to draw this. Okay, sellers are definitely in the market here, guys. Okay, these wicks don't happen by accident. All right, there are people who are aggressively selling at this point to cause this to happen. Although again, the candle remains bullish, but there are sellers in the market. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. We have a developing bullish candle here. Going to widen this up here a little bit more. Okay, we do see ASR. I'm going to turn that off for a second here just to get through the fixed range volume profile. Okay, so we are below the 233 day EMA. All right, which could be an indication that price will remain lower. Okay. We did peak. I guess this is probably the result of news that we just received here in the last 10, 15 minutes or so, which is probably going to cause a relatively wide initial balance here. So let's go ahead and start drawing that. You see this wide initial balance. Okay. So again, when we get these kinds of events, it creates even more interest in the IB edges. Okay. Because it's going to be harder, okay, for any participant, whether it's on the bullish side or the bearish side, to move price outside of it, right? You can see here are these look in comparison to the initial balance ranges that we've had in the past. Look how much bigger these ranges are. Okay, even the one we had yesterday. If I take a measure here, top to bottom, okay, boom, boom. I go over here. Look how much larger this is. Look how much larger this initial balance is from Wednesday. But that was also a result of FOMC, right? So it started out relatively small in comparison. So we are working with a relatively large initial balance, which again creates opportunities at initial balance edges. Okay, initial balance edges will I guess be more significant maybe than they have been in the past. Okay, all right. So we're going to go ahead and open up fixed range volume profile. Let's see what kind of levels we get from that. And so we're going to locate the 830 bar, drag that across to the 13 or the 430 bar. Okay, here we are. We are technically inside initial balance. We technically had an open inside initial balance. Okay, so that is telling us that the market is kind of in this, temporary, I guess, balance, I guess. But given that news, that kind of broke balance here a little bit, but still very much inside value from yesterday. Okay, so we have a wide initial balance. We are, kind of, bullish, right? We have a developing bullish candle here. Let's go ahead and open up ADR now. So we'll go ahead and open this up here. So we have ADR top side here. Okay, so we're kind of in the middle of these two ranges here. Okay. We have ADR to the top side. Let's go ahead and start marking these levels now. So we have ADR high here at, let's see, what is this? 2332.4, 2332.4. And then we have ADR low at 2294.7, 2294.7, 2294.7. Okay. So that's ADR low. And then we have settlement at 2309, 2309.6. Okay. So 2309.6 is settlement. 2309.6. And then let's go ahead and open up, turn off ADR, and turn on ASR, average session range. And you can see that we are below it. So we have 2316.7 on the high end for ASR, average session range, 2316.7 on the upper range. And then on the bottom, we have 2291.2, 2291.2. Okay. Move this over here to the left, my other right. So go back to the main screen and see if there's anything in the way of questions. So again, guys, I'm going to be a little bit patient today with gold. I'm not liking the fact that we're in the kind of the middles of the middles. I'm not, obviously the news here kind of created a situation here where I'm going to have to be a little bit more patient and wait for price to come into these extremes. Now the extremes have been made a lot larger as a result of the news. So I'm going to have to remain patient for initial balance to kind of play out here. I do have an ASR range up above me, and we could potentially stay in this range. All right. Bouncing around here between initial balance edge, initial balance low, up to ASR, and just continue to bounce around here for the remainder of the day. Okay. So we'll have to, for me, I'm going to be patient, okay, with the market, gold market, and see what opportunities it will provide maybe later in the session. All right. So let's go ahead and move to the crude oil market. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and load my crude oil chart. Leave this here. Okay. And open up this. Here we have crude oil. All right. We're going to go and open up a daily chart. Okay. I think we're okay. We have this bearish channel I have drawn before. So we'll just go ahead and remove that. Okay. All right. So similar to gold, but I would say that this is more than just a retracement at this point. It's actually created a swing to the downside. All right. If it is a retracement, well, it's a pretty deep retracement. Okay, of this swing here, right? We're starting to see, breaks in structure, price structure. Here we had a demand area here. We tested this demand area here and broke that. And so we have a level down here that I would expect to be supportive. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that down there. Okay. I would expect that level to be a relatively strong level of support. We're kind of hovering around it. Okay. I feel like given this chart, there's a possibility that it could reverse from here to the upside, but I'm feeling that, natural thing for it to do, it would be to come down here. Okay. Before it made any sort of move higher. Okay. That's kind of what I'm seeing. All right. Is it possible that it could reverse off of here? We're starting to see that, the bulls are able to at least, stave off some of the bears. Okay. But it seems to me a more natural move would be for it to move down here, down to 77, and then make a strong push, potentially higher. Okay. In crude oil. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the daily chart. Okay. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Okay. So here we are continuing to make our staircase. Okay. Now the staircase is I guess slowing a little bit. You can see. All right. We had strong staircases, initial slow acceleration, and then now we're back to slow again. Now are we slowing to the point where maybe the bulls can get a little bit of a stronghold in the market and take it back up? We'll have to wait and see. All right. We have the market opening up here in about 8 minutes. So will be interesting to see where we open relative to value from yesterday. I have to suspect that we are probably below it. Okay. We'll take a look at this in the next slide. All right. So let's open up the 30-minute chart. So here we are, 30-minute chart. I'm going to turn off ASR here for a second, and let's see if I can take control. This might be come in handy here. So we'll put this arrow here. Control this arrow because we might use that. Okay, so let's start with the fixed range volume profile. Let's do that analysis here. So we're going to go locate the 9 a.m. bar from Thursday. Okay, 9 a.m. See here, 9 a.m. Thursday. There it is. Drag that across to 4:30. There it is. Okay, so looks like there's a chance that we open inside value here in the next 5 minutes. It looks like try to make a push above value. Now it looks like some sellers have kind of stepped into the market. I don't know if it was a result of the news here. Okay, we are technically right now below. Okay, we are below We are below VWAP. We are above settlement price. Okay. Made an attempt to go higher, rejected. Okay. So we'll see how this closes here in the next 6 minutes. It could be this a springboard for price movement now that to lower, but they have to contend with settlement and they have to contend with whoever this person is who bought. All right. So let's take now a look at ADR levels. All right. So we have ADR levels again, similar to what we were seeing in gold. We're in the middles of the middles. Okay. Love it. Right. Not one. I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to be a participant in this kind of action. All right. I don't want to be down here or I want to be up here. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be stuck in the mud. Okay. So let's go ahead and start to identify these levels above us. So we have ADR high here at looks like 79.95. 79.95, which is pretty close to a psychological level of 80. Okay, ADR low is what is it? 78.19. 78.19. And then we have settlement at what is it? 78.95. 78.95. All right. And let's go ahead now and close this off, open up ASR. Okay. So we're pretty much almost spot on with what we're seeing in ADR here. Okay. So I'm going to call this 79.99. Okay. Pretty much 80. And then on the downside, we have 78.26 ASR low. 78.26. So not much different than what we're seeing on ADR side. Okay. So don't have initial balance because the market hasn't opened yet. So we're just going to have to wait. Similar to my view of gold, going to remain a little bit of patient. We're going to have to wait to see what initial balance holds. If we do indeed open inside value, then, obviously have to kind of temper my expectations of what I can see in the market. I do see settlement price here, right? Kind of acting as a magnet to price. This could provide me, like it provided here, an opportunity to the upside. What's disappointing, I'm sure, for whoever this buyer is, right? They basically felt like they entered at a good level, and it looks like some strong sellers have kind of stepped into the market and kind of, poo-pooed on his parade here a little bit. Okay. So let's take a look and see if there's anything in the way of questions. Yeah. So again, guys, I'm going to be a little bit patient here with the market. If we do manage to break below this settlement price, maybe it offers an opportunity to the downside to ASR low. Okay. That's kind of, I guess that's the story I'm going to start with here, just given this candle here. All right. We're about 3 minutes away from this candle closing below VWAP, and we're up against settlement price. Okay. So, and since we're back at this level so soon, okay, relatively soon, my feeling is that, we have a possibility of at least getting back down to value low before we make any sort of move higher. Okay. Otherwise, we're probably looking at all the way down to ASR. All right. So I think that's kind of what I have for the crude oil market. So let's go ahead, and I don't see anything in the way of comments or questions. So we'll move on to NQ. All right. So NQ, we'll just go ahead and use this chart, modify it. NQ. Okay. Oops. Okay, there it is. Here, NQ looks like it's flying. Okay, flying higher. All right, maybe as a result of this unemployment. I don't see how a tick up on unemployment causes the market to go higher. Well, that's why we don't necessarily trade fundamentals. We trade the charts here. But let's remove this and take a look at this. Okay, so here we are kind of, well, not kind of, we are in a very much, a broken some structure here to the upside. We have a little bit of a gap here, a gap open here. So then again, that's further evidence that someone felt that we're at a good level, okay, to go long, okay, bullish, okay. So yeah, we did break below. This is kind of like almost it feels like a fake out here. Faked everybody into going short and then potentially trapped a bunch of sellers here, right? Because everybody's feeling that market should be headed lower, and someone said, "Well, not on my watch." So they ended up and scooped up a bunch of liquidity and has taken it to the upside. All right, so looking bullish here on the daily. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, similar kind of thing. We're starting to form some formations here that would indicate that we are headed higher. Okay, a rally, a basing, and another rally. Okay, so again, bullish, right? Looking at candles of late, bears have not really been able to make any inroads recently. Okay, all the strong activity, all the conviction bars are coming from the bullish side. Again, erring on the side of the bulls. All right, 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. We have this, I guess, a result of news here, which is, again, I find it hard to believe, but I guess you tick higher on unemployment and everybody's happy. So we are headed there. Okay. All right. So we had just closed a bullish candle. I would call this more of a conviction candle. I'm going to turn this off here. Relatively flat overnight. I mean, I don't know how much flatter you can get here, guys, but pretty flat market. Okay, pretty flat market here in the overnight. Okay, so for those who traded overnight, I don't know how you made any money on this, but I guess it's possible. Okay, let's go ahead and look at volume profile. So volume profile, let's locate the bar from, oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, trying to give you as much exposure and visibility, but hard to contain this massive candle here. Okay. All right, so Thursday, we're going to go ahead and look at the 9:30 candle. There it is. Drag that across 13:30, and lo and behold, we are well above value. Okay, surprise, surprise. Okay, so well above value. So obviously, bulls are very much in control of the market as we speak here. Okay, you can see this on the left-hand side. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up ADR. We're probably exceeding some ADR levels to the top side for sure. At least I feel like it should be close anyway. Not seeing anything being drawn, which is a little disconcerting. Okay, so I see some dots here. Let's try this. Okay, so we have ADR low here. We'll make a note of this on my. So we'll call ADR low here at 17,569. Okay, and then see if I can do this here. That's 17,918 on the top side. 17,918.75. Looks like we're already breaching that level. Okay, to the top side. Okay, top side ADR here. Okay, so start jotting these numbers down. ADR high is 17,569. ADR low is 17,918.75. Settlement is 17,649.75. Okay, and then we'll turn off ADR levels here for a second. We've exceeded that level here. Looks like it's bouncing off of it. So 17, let's call it 17,760 top side. Is that right? 17,760. I got those reverse, guys. Sorry. So this is here. This is I wrote down low when I should have written high. Okay, so this is that's the low, 17,569, and this is the high, okay, 17,918. And then on the ASR front, the high is let's call it 17. Let's call it 744 high, 17,744. 17,744 as the high, and then the low as 17,422, 422.75. Okay, so sorry about reversing this, guys, but in any case, I have captured the numbers in the right places. Okay, so this is kind of what we're looking at here. See if there's anything else I should be calling out here in the market. Yeah, so the market quite bullish, guys. Difficult to participate in this market at retail, in my humble opinion. Okay. All right. So for me, if I'm going to participate in a continuation move to the upside, we don't have initial balance just yet because we're about 25 minutes away from the open. We'll need obviously a push back down to VWAP, all right, or some other reference level for me to participate in a long trade. All right. So again, probably going to be patient. Difficult to be patient with Nasdaq, I guess, but I'm going to have to be extra patient with Nasdaq to find good reference levels for me to participate in this market. Okay. Not really inclined to participate on the top of the market here. Okay, as much as the great news that we've been getting in the earnings of some of these stocks, maybe that's what's causing this to jump here. Is probably some of the earnings that we're seeing in Apple and some of these other tech companies. That's probably the more reason for this. I was thinking that maybe the unemployment, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Unemployment ticking higher, and then the market rallying based on that. That doesn't seem right. So probably the result of good earnings reports from some of these tech companies is causing this jump in price in Nasdaq today. Okay. Not seeing anything as far as questions in Nasdaq here, guys. So relatively bullish, looking for opportunities to go bullish is kind of the mode of operandi that I'm going to be following. That blue dotted line. Blue dotted line is at the daily level. Blue dotted line. Let me see what the blue dotted line is. Blue dotted line might be some level that I had drawn earlier from some other analysis. This blue dotted line is not something that that's coming from an indicator. Okay. It's coming from some sort of analysis that I did that I've arrived at. So I would say, I guess I hesitate to ignore it 100%, but we do have settlement price at that level. So even if I were to erase it, we have settlement right at that level. That would be that you could use that as a reference level as well. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's again, guys, that's kind of what I have for Nasdaq. Let's take a look at ES. All right, here we are. ES. I mean, like I said, if you blink twice, guys, you would say that you're looking at the exact same market. The only thing is that instead of price being above ASR, all right, it came below it, and then we had this massive candle breach it. Okay, that's really the only difference here. But we'll take a peek at the daily. And surprise, surprise, we are seeing the same kind of action. All right, on the daily gap. We have a gap. We have price headed higher. Okay, we had initial kind of move to the downside. Another selling wick. We're down goes Frazier, right? Price is going to head lower. Not happening. So this little demand zone that we drew here before became supportive, and we rallied off of it. Okay, for our chart. For our chart, similar to what we were saying in NASDAQ, we're starting to kind of staircase our way higher. We're starting to beginning to think about breaking some of these levels that we have here on the left-hand side. Sellers, looks like for now, have kind of sat on the sidelines and provided the bulls a playground to play. Basically, the bulls have bullied the sells off of the playground, and the playground right now seems to be purely S&P bulls. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. All right, similar kind of thing. We're breaking. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off here for a second. Stretch this out here a little bit. We are above VWAP, above settlement. Okay, so a couple of things that we're looking at. I don't seem to have the EMA here. Let me go ahead and add that. EMA. Okay, so we're going to add the 233 EMA here. Okay, so we're going to double click here. 233, and then we're going to color that as some little orange or color here. Make that a little bit thicker. Okay, so yeah, we have three data points: settlement, EMA, VWAP, all saying up. Okay, let's go ahead and do a fixed range volume profile back here. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go. All right, there we are. Okay, so no surprise here, above value. Okay, above value. So no, again, another data point, all pointing to higher pricing here. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and open up ADR. I suspect that we're either at it or close to breaking it, and here we are at it. Okay, so we are extended to the upside for sure. Okay, so we're going to call it, let's call it, I'm going to call it 5147, guys. 5147, ADR high. Okay, ADR high, 5147, 5147. ADR low is, what is this? 50, 73, 75, 50, 73, 75. Settlement is, what is that? 50, 91, 50, 50, 50, 91, 50. And then we're going to go ahead and add ASR here. And we have ASR also broken at, we'll call it 51, 16, 50, 51, 16, 50. Okay. And then ASR low at 50, 49, 75. 50, 49.75. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here as far as levels. All right. I'm going to move this over here to the center. I'm going to pop my head into the main chart and see if there's anything in the chat. There is not. All right. So we're going to go close out our review with YM. Okay. So we're going to go ahead YM. Okay. Looks like we might actually maybe even have some time to look at maybe platinum or OB here. So if Tron is open to that review, I will entertain it today, since we're going to be coming in early. All right. So take a look at maybe a treat for Friday. Okay. So a little treat for Tron for being such a dedicated person to come into my sessions every day. All right, so here we are. Again, similar view here, guys. We have a little gap. We have more kind of a W pattern, a little bit of a double bottom. I'm seeing more, I guess, in let's turn off ADR here. It's kind of Let me remove some of these drawings. Okay, so here we are. More kind of, it feels like a little W pattern to me. Double bottom has been created around 37,900. Okay, so definitely bullish for our chart. Similar kind of thing. We're kind of staircasing our way. Now Dow is actually breached the top of the EMA. All right. If we manage to close above this, that could spell for some higher prices. 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. No surprise here. It's almost like an exact replica of what we're seeing in some of these other equity markets. We're going to go ahead and do this fixed range volume profile. We'll do the fixed range volume profile dance here. So we're going to go back to here. Yes. And then drag that across to right there. And there's volume profile. And you can see we're above it. Okay. No surprises. ADR high. I think we're already at it. Okay. So let's go ahead and mark these levels up. Okay. So we say ADR high. ADR high is, where is it? ADR high here is, what was that? 38,886. I think it was 38,886. 38,886. All right. And then we have ADR low at, let's turn ASR. I don't want to get that confused here. So let's, I'm going to call it 38,400. I think it was 38,401, guys, but I work for the government. So good for the government. I'm just going to keep it here at, kind of general. Okay. It doesn't have 401, 400. You choose which one you want to follow. It's not going to make a difference in the trading for sure. So 38,382, 38,382. And hopefully my reference to that didn't offend anyone. All right. All right. Going to go open up ASR. Okay. So we're well above that. So the top end of that is 38,469. Top end 38,469. Top end ASR. Bottom end. We'll call it, what is that? 38,078. 38,078. Let's see. Yeah, 38,078 is kind of what I'm seeing. Okay. So yeah, so again, nothing really different than what we're seeing. I guess very difficult for me to participate in the long at the upper end. Okay, I'm gonna need again to, just like I need to for the other equities, I need price to come down to a level where I can respect. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I have for YM. Since I do have some extra time, and I do want to reward Tron for his dedication to the channel. I'm going to take a peek. Tron, your call. Platinum or RBOB? You tell me. Which one? Platinum or RBOB? Tron. You're welcome. You're welcome, Sepadia. Popcorn. Wrong number on ASR high on YM. Is that right? Let me see. ASR high, wrong number. Why is that wrong? I got 466. Okay. Well, no, it's not that wrong. 467, maybe. Oh, it's not 39. It's 38. You're right. Yeah, it's 38. You're right. 469. 38, 469. Good catch there, Keith. Yes, you're right, Keith. You are right. My bad. Thank you for that. Okay. All right. So the Tron has spoken. So we are going to look at platinum. Platinum. So this is a treat, guys. Okay. Treat. This is a treat for Tron and his dedication to the channel. And, so we're going to kind of reward him for that here. All right. So let's do kind of a real, solid review since it's on Friday and I'm in a relatively decent mood here. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are above EMA to the upside. Okay. Similar to, I think, our view of gold in general, right? We're starting to make some headway to the upside. We are above VWAP, which I don't really look at so much on the daily, but it is what it is. I guess more important, EMA. So we're above EMA. We seem to be working off of a kind of a little bit of a demand zone here off of EMA. Okay, no surprise there. 4-hour chart is also telling us something similar. Okay, we just broke a level here to the upside, only to be met by sellers, which is kind of interesting, right? We broke a level. Looks like we may have exhausted some buyers here. They're kind of regrouping here, maybe around 970.10 here. Okay, for another leg higher. If this candle breaks below, then I maybe change my tune. But as long as it's able to stay inside this candle and not close below it, then my view will hold here. Again, once we break a structure like this with this kind of candle, you would think that it would have enough resources to continue. So I'm a little surprised by this candle at the moment. All right. Still bullish. Not so happy with this. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute. Okay, so here we are right at VWAP. Okay, right at VWAP, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off ASR here for a second. And so we're right at VWAP. Kind of flirting with maybe a move lower. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing. All right, looks like it's flirting with maybe a move back down to summit. It's kind of what I'm seeing right now. But I need to see if this candle is going to close equally as bearish. All right. We had an attempt to go higher, rejected. Now we have a candle that's kind of potentially, going to be an engulfing candle that could cause the market to look for buyers lower here. All right. So settlement seems to be an attractive target for me in platinum. All right. So I don't know exactly when it opens. When does platinum open at the same time as gold? Can I use 830 as my anchor for volume profile? Tron? I don't know. I don't know much about platinum, so I suspect that to be the case. So let me just go with that, guys, since it seems like Tron is occupied a little bit here. So we'll use 830 as our anchor. Okay. For platinum. All right. So right there, drag that across to same window that we all look at all the other markets. And here we are above value. I would say that platinum is probably a tad stronger than gold. I don't recall gold being above value when we were looking at it. I thought it felt like it was inside value. Okay. So that has it, I guess, the bulls that, I guess speaks to them a little bit. Again, I'm not really, happy with the series of candles that I'm seeing of late, with respect to bull. So it leads me to kind of I'm feeling like, if I'm going to be a bull or a person long, that maybe I'm going to see if maybe we get this move lower down to settlement price and hang out by settlement price to see if I want to participate there. We are reacting off of a ADR. Okay, that could maybe be a possible reason why it's struggling to get higher. We've already reached the ADR levels to the top side, and so right now for me, it's feeling like maybe we peak lower. Although I am seeing wicks on both ends of the candles, which again is a little bit indecision, I guess, in the market. Let's see what else. What else could I be looking at here? I'm gonna peek in here, see if Tron has any questions. Yes, thank you, Reislick, for the thumbs up. Okay, so you think it's 8:30? All right. So in any case, it looks like, yeah, it looks like maybe we might be, I guess, short term bearish. Okay. ASR, I don't think it's going to tell me much different. All right. ASR, well, it's told me that it broke above it. Okay. And now maybe we tested on the way down, and that maybe that level could serve as, kind of like what it did here, broke above it. Now it comes back, and this area here at 966.3 could be supportive here. So I don't know, Tron, do you want me to call out the ADR high, ADR low, or is that good enough for government work? Tron? Okay, no worries. Okay, so we'll call it at that, guys. I know, again, we have a number of folks that trade the opening range, so we'll leave it at that. So I would say that my initial inclination here, guys, is that platinum is probably going to head lower before it heads higher. That's just my initial take on it. So if I'm interested in this on the long side, I'm going to be looking at ASR high, or a settlement price is an opportunity for me to go long. All right. Otherwise, if I'm so inclined, then I would need to say that bearish is kind of what the natural progression is going to be here. Okay. All right. With that, guys, I'll leave you to the open. I want to wish you a good day of trading. Today is Friday, right? So we need to be careful. We don't want it to be a give back Friday. All right. So trade well, trade safe, right? Trade well, trade safe, but more importantly, trade the market like a market trader. Okay, guys, have a excellent day trading, and we'll see you guys on Monday. All right, talk to you guys soon.